Now, for more reaction, we are joined by Pemmy Majodina, Chief Whip of the ANC caucus. Ma'am Majodina, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Your reaction to this news?
Thank you very much to you and to the viewers. It is very devastating news, unbelievable. I'm shocked. It was only on Sunday when I was taking Comrade Kebby Maphatswe through to his new responsibility. Comrade Maphatswe was one of those comrades who will respect authority, a person who will speak out, very robust and very firm on what he believed in. So we worked very well with Comrade Kebby. We have lost one of our own. We have lost one of the combatants of controversies. But here in Parliament, he knew where the center was, and he will respect authority at all times.
Ma'am Majodina, obviously a very hard moment there for you. Where were you when you heard of this news, and have you heard from the family? We understand at this time, you know, the details surrounding Mr. Maphatswe's death is unknown at this stage. What do you know? What has the family told you?
When I received this sad news, I was right inside plenary in Parliament. There was a debate on the closure of Women's Month. I was called through the cell phone of Comrade Kebby, and I kept on dropping the phone. And I sent the message to say, but why do you call me when you know that I'm in plenary? Then this person continued to call. I said, check your WhatsApp. I can't speak. Then they dropped the message to say, Chief Whip, this is Kebby's family. We're trying to get hold of you to inform you that Kebby is no more. I quickly went out and called Reverend Maphatswe, who was using Comrade Kebby's phone. Said to me, Comrade Kebby died peacefully on his sleep. As we all know, Comrade Kebby was not sick. That is why I'm shocked, and these news are so unbelievable because I've been interacting with Comrade Kebby. So the family has confirmed that he was at home. He died on his sleep. Further details are not released at the moment.
As the ANC, who else, has been told? I would imagine that it was also your responsibility to make sure everybody is aware of this news. Has the President, Cyril Ramaphosa, as an example, been made aware of this news? What was his reaction? Because I was in the house when I got this news, and I had to inform the organization as well as members of Parliament. I've not had an opportunity to speak to the President because the Deputy Secretary General is also handling such matters for the officials. So on my capacity as a Chief Whip, I was informing all other members. I've not spoken to the President because I'm trying to respect protocols so that the DSG must be able to speak to all other officials. But as I can tell you and attest that the whole ANC caucus, the members of the opposition parties, they are shocked with disbelief of such news. And you know that as ANC, I've already lost 13 members. This is the 14th member that I'm losing within a year. Ma'am Majodina, this is an incredibly difficult time for you and for many South Africans. Talk to me about how you would remember Mr. Maphatswe. You mentioned earlier that you were recently just taking him through his new responsibilities. Talk to me about just that time when you were doing that. What were his new responsibilities, and how would you remember him at that moment?
I will remember Comrade Maphatswe as one of the robust person in the ANC. Comrade Maphatswe was committed on transformation agenda. When I gave him his new responsibility on arts and culture as well as sport, I said to him, the conference resolution of transforming the heritage landscape is now in your hands. You must take us and have a reflection of a true and a democratic South Africa. He said to me, whilst I was a whip of police, Chief Whip, you guided us. I'm here today as new whip for arts and culture. And the ANC believes that I'm an all-rounder as Kebby Maphatswe, and I will not disappoint. and we're going to make it a point that there is total transformation. Comrade Kebby was one person that was not going to pretend. If he's going to do something and he believes in that thing, he will push at all fronts and ensure that this happens. But he had respect. He will respect authority, irrespective that I'm too young to Comrade Kebby, but when I give orders, he will take orders. And if I talk his military language, he will understand that I'm in charge when it comes to ANC caucus. And he will not question my authority, but he will engage if there's something that he does not understand. I will remember him on a commitment on radical economic transformation as well as social transformation of our country.
Now, at the time of his death, Pemmy Majodina, we are saying that he is, the former president of the now disbanded controversies and military veterans. Obviously, something that he did not like and he did not want to see happen. A lot of criticism in the latter part of his years, especially around how the MKMVA positioned itself around the ANC, and some of the accusations that were leveled at it for being at the center of factionalism within the party. What would you like to say around just those controversies around this man as a lasting legacy for you?
When people are robust, at times we think that they are controversial. But what I like is that by the time he passed on, Comrade Kebby said, we cannot show the ANC the middle finger. The ANC is saying, let MVA be disbanded and let's go towards a unity conference. Then he was ready to toe the line and respect the NEC decision. And for that, I respect him, because his robustness was to say we should have been consulted on several occasions as MKMVA. Don't take decisions outside us. But later on, he came to his political senses to say MKMVA is the creation of the ANC and therefore respected the decision of the NEC. As I said earlier on, he was a robust person. When you speak to Comrade Kebby, you must know exactly what is that you want to communicate, and rest assured that we are going to be engaged. It cannot be just a smooth sailing when you are speaking to him.
Now, a lot of people will also remember him too about, the contributions that he made when he was much younger, when he was part of the Congress of the South African Students, caucus, as well as the Soweto Youth Congress. I know you mentioned earlier that you were younger than him, but what are some of the lessons and just some of the anecdotal stories that he told around his time, in the movement during those very hard times, I would imagine?
Comrade Kebby was one of the people that were very energetic. Even at the time when he went to exile, most of people who were to him knew that one day he will go to exile, because he wanted to see a free country. Hence, he had to take that risk, political risk, to say, even if I die, but this country must be free. So when I went to Angola, where he was trained to exhume a lot of MK combatants, Comrade Kebby called me to say, go and check in the following areas. There are other MK members that remains that are lying there. And I went to those areas that were pointed by Comrade Kebby. I brought him a list and I took pictures of each and every grave that I met. Then he said to me, I will not rest up until all these combatants are brought back home. In Lesotho, when we're exhuming in Lesotho, Comrade Kebby was at the forefront to say we must also rename Tele Route and Tele Bridge, because the ANC cadres worked along this road. So I will respect Comrade Kebby for the courage, the strength that he had during his lifetime.
Just as we conclude, Pemmy Majodina, just what would you like to say to those South Africans that really don't understand his legacy and what he fought for, particularly in his earlier career and his life within the party, as well as obviously he was a member of Parliament? of Cabinet as the Deputy Minister of Defence between 2014 and 2019. Just as we conclude this interview, what would you like South Africans to remember him for and as?
To all South Africans, we are human beings. In the course of doing our duties, we might make some mistakes because we're not angels. How I wish South Africans could remember the good things that Comrade KP has done as a Deputy Minister of Defence and Military Veterans in ensuring that members or former members of MKMVA, APLA, and many other liberation armies, they get what was due to them in terms of the grants and all that. But also, let's not judge people because we live on earth. We'll make errors. Let's take the good out of each and every individual and keep that legacy of Comrade KB in remembering that whilst he was engaging robust, he was not showing disrespect to South Africans. And let's celebrate the life well lived. But it was unfortunate that he had to leave us as we close the Women's Month. He was very supportive of women's struggles. He understood that gender struggles need both men and female, and I respect him for that. As an MKMVA president, when they have some programs, he will not flout to ensure that there's gender representation in each and every program of MKMVA. And for that, I take my hat off for Comrade KB.
Where to now, Ms. Majodina, in terms of protocol? What's the next steps that, especially from your end as an organization?
Then the next step is that the Comrade DSG, Comrade Duarte, has visited the family today. The National Working Committee members that are around Gauteng will visit the family. I will be leading the delegation from Parliament, especially from caucus, to visit the family so that we can plan together with the family, ensuring that we give him a good send-off that he deserves as a member of controversies, as a person who sacrifices youthfulness to liberate this country. And that is what is positive, that all of us must start to respect individuals for their roles that they've played. So other details will keep you informed because we still have to meet with the family. The family is also shocked and devastated about this certain news.
All right, ma'am, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That was Pemmy Majodina, Chief Whip of the ANC caucus, just reacting there to the news of the death of former MKMVA President Kebby Maphatswe.